The following podcast is unsuitable for children under 16 years of age. Viewer discretion is advised. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We got fish food.
We got Doc.
And we have a very special guest, my brother,
Guppy.
And today we're going to bring you a very special edition.
Very, very special.
Special for two reasons. One, we have a name for our podcast finally.
Mm-hmm. We are calling ourselves... This is now... It's still on the bottom of the map production, but this show is now finally Super Slam.
Super Slam.
Super Slam.
Alrighty. Well, second reason that this show is special, we just got done attending our first house show for the WWE.
It was...
Guppy's first WWE event.
Doc's first as
Same
well.
with Doc.
I've seen Raw, and I think now I prefer the house shows. Because the intensity is just so much more hardcore. You can probably tell I can hardly talk right now.
Yeah, if you can't hear my voice right now with how low it is, then I'm telling you, this has been amazing. Well, just an awesome night.
Yeah, it was like incredible. All 9 matches. Like we had 9 matches, and
should have been 10.
It should have been 10. Speaking, let's go ahead and get into that. To start out the show, they had the WWE Universe in Attendance vote. You could vote either via Twitter or vote through text messaging, and the two decisions were between Adam Rose and Justin Gabriel. Would you rather see a dance-off or match? And it was like back and forth for a while too.
Yeah, it ended up being 51% to 49%.
We're not going to tell you the result yet. We're gonna save that. We're gonna kind of try to go in order.
I think we sort of did.
It was like at one point it was 54% for a match.
Yeah,
and then they stopped displaying the votes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but apparently kept taking the votes.
Apparently, so once they stopped displaying the votes, none other than WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair came out to announce tonight's main event. Anybody want to tell the audience what the main event was?
It was a street fight between Randy Orton and Roman Reigns.
Oh, but that's not all.
With special guest referee?
None other than the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Oh, it was
woo!
Beautiful.
That got us hyped right out the gate.
We were like 25 feet from the Nature Boy himself. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
By the way, we will be uploading photos.
Yes, they will be on our photos page of our website, and the plugs will be inserted about halfway through the show. We're gonna take a quick intermission about halfway through our show, and we're gonna put our plugs in there. But we'll go ahead and get started. First match of the night.
Great match.
Great match. Arguably, actually, if you argue against us, you're not gonna win. The greatest feud in wrestling right now.
We have
Mr. Money in the Bank
Seth Rollins
versus the challenger, quote unquote, maybe
the Lunatic Fringe,
Dean Ambrose.
And it was like the match barely even. The action started before the match began.
The bell never rang before the first punch was swung. It was.
I'm cracking open a beer in case you can't tell I'm that excited about tonight. Steve Weiser's, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was like intense action. Like it was really a great way to get the match or get the night started.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like we said, the best feud in wrestling right now. You've got the most interesting character on TV in WWE whatsoever is Dean Ambrose right now. Why? Because he will do anything. He doesn't care. He's not out to win a title.
He's nuts.
He's only out to prevent Seth Rollins from becoming champion.
And I think the best part about that match is Ambrose kept playing up to the crowd. He kept playing up to that live crowd.
And Rollins did too, like playing the heel.
Yeah. And see, he's got the makings of a really, really strong heel because a heel doesn't give a shit about the crowd. And there's a couple more examples we'll throw in tonight about, who we thought were really strong heels tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was, a hell of a contest between those two men.
Also, for those who think oh, well, on the untelevised shows, they just use, actors who, stunt doubles and everything. No, these were the men.
We were close enough. We could tell every single person was exactly who they said they were.
I could feel the sweat.
Pretty much. But the results of the match, when we were sitting there, we were thinking to ourselves, okay, it's a house show, but who are they going to put to win? Because, on house shows, they're not really as important storyline-wise, but if, let's say, somebody beats a champion on a house show, that stuff's going to leak and people are going to think, oh, well, maybe he'll get a title, So it's like, how are they going to book this on a house show?
House shows usually end up being, for the most part, dress rehearsals, dry runs for big matches like something you would see at a big pay-per-view or a major episode of Raw.
And that's another thing that I was considering. Okay, well, this could be this is what we should have had at Battleground. This is what we will probably get at SummerSlam. So, are they gonna book it to where who's really gonna win the match? Are they gonna try to deceive the people who go into the house shows? What's gonna happen? Well, they did the smart thing and gave Ambrose a win via disqualification after Rollins attacked him with the briefcase. However, Ambrose got the last laugh. Got the last hurrah, if you will.
Mm-hmm. He ended up winning the post-match brawl.
Which was pretty kick-ass. Beating him with the little briefcase and sending him out of the ring. And then he threw the briefcase at Seth Rollins, which I thought was awesome. I thought he should have just left the building with it.
Yeah, I was like, take it. You deserve it anyway. That should have been yours.
So,
but if they do something like that, that's going to happen on TV.
Most likely, yeah. Now, we decided after that match we were going to rate each match based on, yes, it's a house show, so it's not going to be like this match versus like a 5-star match at a house show would be about like a 4-star match on TV. It's not like
especially on pay-per-view.
And if we give something like a 5-star match, that's not like we're saying it's as good as like Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan at Mania,
which really,
or like
technically speaking, that was a good match, great hype, but it wasn't a 5-star classic.
Or even like Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon. That one was a 5-star match at Mania 7. So don't take our ratings to heart because we don't do ratings for a living. We're just as a fan, the intensity of the match, everything.
And keep in mind, it's not even as a fan sitting at home watching Raw on TV, watching Raw, or watching a pay-per-view on TV on the network. That's a fan in the audience. Mm-hmm. By the way, great seats.
Oh yeah,
great
we should talk
seats.
about that.
We were in the 3rd row from the freaking barricade.
Let's put this in perspective for you. Let's paint you a picture, if we will.
We have the ring in the center.
Obviously.
We have the barricade right around it. It was.
Imagine where the announce table would be. We were the corner to the announcer's left. That's the corner we were at.
We were right where, like, the timekeeper.
Right around where the timekeeper's area would normally be.
It was beautiful.
And Justin Roberts, at the house shows, he plays double duty. He's the ring announcer, he's the timekeeper, and the ring bell ringer.
Yeah,
which technically is the timekeeper.
He wears a lot of hats.
And he's good at his job. He loves his job, you can tell.
Oh yeah. He is absolutely one of the best.
He's up there with the Fink, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. I wish it would have been Lillian Garcia, just because Lillian.
Sexy.
I am so yours. But still, Justin Roberts did an amazing job tonight.
See, and one day we will be saying, please welcome WWE Hall of Famer Justin Roberts. I guarantee it's going to happen. Because he's like not really the voice of the WWE, that's more Michael Cole. But he's like the guy, he's like the glue that keeps the shows together.
Yeah, I mean, how long has he done, not just every Raw, every SmackDown?
Lillian does SmackDown, doesn't she? She used to.
She used to, but then when they stopped being exclusive, he does Raw, he does SmackDown, he does Main Event, he does...
I thought Tony was still doing Main Event.
It might be Tony doing
I know
Main Event,
whenever SmackDown was in Tulsa,
Back in December.
Lillian.
It was back in December.
Yeah, it was Lillian.
But still, he's done all these shows. Plus, he's doing all the house shows. He's doing.
If that man has a family, he very rarely gets to see him, and unless they travel with him.
I was gonna say usually the ones who travel with the company and don't miss anything, they usually get allowances for their family to travel with them.
Which that's great on the WWE's part.
Like there are guys who never get to see their family though because they're on the road so much, and I can guarantee you there's at least one superstar tonight who's sleeping in his childhood home.
And we'll get to him later. But I know that most of the time they're off on weekends. Well, not weekends, Sundays. Because Sundays are pay-per-view days.
Sundays are
They give them a day.
days.
They give everybody a day to go home, relax. Mm-hmm. So they get about 52 days off a year, guaranteed.
Yeah. But they wrestle so often. And the live events, I'm telling you, anybody that says don't go to a live event.
Live events are better than TV, and I can tell you firsthand because I went to a TV event. Yes, my seats were crappy at the TV event, but the crowd is nothing at a house show compared to on TV. Because the crowd wasn't into half the matches on TV.
Well, and the crowd that is there, it may be small for a house show.
I would say the BOK Center was probably 40% full.
Yeah.
By the way, the show is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so obviously we're from Oklahoma. We've dropped that a million times. Mm-hmm. We're at my dad's place right now, and we're not going to give you that location. I'm not that daring, but we went. We're going to go tomorrow night to Oklahoma State's house show too. So you expect another podcast tomorrow.
Unless it's exactly the same as tonight's.
I think we still should.
Yeah, we still should. And at the very least, we can be like, hey, we saw the same matches tonight.
Maybe the results will be different too.
Possibly. We got the same advertised superstars, so.
But the intensity of the crowd was just absolutely amazing. We ended up breaking this one at 4.5 stars.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Because it was back and forth. Ambrose did his little thing where he pretends to dive out of the turnbuckle or the ropes and springboards. Of course, Rollins countered it the first 2 times. It was an amazing event.
And then he finally hit it. Rollins gave Ambrose the turnbuckle powerbomb. Oh, it was
Sound slap flip into a turnbuckle powerbomb.
Yeah, and it was
shortly after though, Ambrose hit another superplex on Rollins. That was awesome too.
It wasn't quite as good as it would have been if it had been from the top of a ladder.
Like we saw Money in the Bank, which was still pretty awesome.
But still, it was definitely amazing.
But for a house show, that's easily a 4.5 star match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second match of the night.
Right there.
Yeah, we have cats running around our studio, quote unquote. This isn't a studio. This is my dad's living room. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
We have a couple little cats running around.
We'll break kayfabe.
That's fine. It's whatever. I'm pretty sure most people record out of their house.
Yeah.
That do podcasts, unless they're like Ring Rust Radio or something like that. Which shout outs to Ring Rust Radio.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to them occasionally, and they're really cool guys. At least they seem to be. Second match of the night, the inspirational Bo Dallas versus Long Island IZ Zack Ryder,
which was a great match. I got to see Zack Ryder, and he put up a wonderful.
Oh yeah, it was a good match between the two of them.
It wasn't on the par with
the one we just saw,
but at the same time, you look at Rollins and Ambrose. Those two are ring generals. Even this early on in their career, they control.
You say early on in their career though, they've been doing the indies for years.
Well, yeah, but in their WWE career, and you can do the indies for years, come into the WWE and
not have that X factor.
Yeah, you don't have the X factor. They will still make you work your way up. Absolutely.
But yeah, Bo Dallas and Zack Ryder, it was great. We got to see a broski boot. We got to see the Bo Dog. And the whole time, he's 17 and Bo! 17 and Bo! Michael, this is the greatest streak in sports entertainment today.
We kept reference. By the way, no ring announcers. I mean, no commentary table. I mean, so it was we were missing that, but at the same time, we didn't need that.
Yeah, you don't need it, and you can't hear commentary when you're at a TV event anyway.
Yeah, I know. We don't need that.
In fact, when I got back from Raw, back in December, I actually rewatched the Raw just to see all the commentary I missed, and it's just like it makes the show a lot better for those shows because sometimes the action isn't on par with the house shows, which we've seen.
Yeah. The action for house shows, it's nonstop. And like you said, the focus of it is on in-ring action.
I think there was maybe, a 2-minute window between matches? You didn't have enough time to go to the bathroom.
No.
You were going to miss something.
They gave an intermission in the middle just for that.
Which was kind of nice. And we picked up some merchandise, too.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, Bo Dallas ended up winning, of course. We kind of gave that away. We didn't, we liked the match, but we got really distracted during the match. It was a good match.
It was a good match. I loved the victory lap. The victory lap in person.
Which one?
The one that happened. The opening bell rung. They locked up. Bo got down, gave him the
fireman's carry.
The kneeling fireman's carry.
A true fireman's carry. Yes, amateur wrestling fireman's carry.
Yeah, it was great.
For those of you who don't know,
immediately out of the ring, said, "I'm winning!" and gave the victory.
For the few viewers who probably don't know what a fireman's carry is, if you do, we're not talking to you. We don't want to insult anybody. But a fireman's carry is basically John Cena's AA, except for your knees are on the ground and it's not like a jumping thing. It's just you're just rolling.
And you usually go. It's usually you're being thrown in the direction of the shoulder that has your legs on it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the AA, you're being thrown in the direction of the shoulder that has your head.
Exactly.
But it helps so that you can land safely.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also...
And we did notice, we saw so many spots where, that's how they keep it safe. They are trained professionals. Please don't try any of this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Do not try any of this
Unless you are a contracted professional wrestler, do not try this stuff. Because you don't want people hurt.
Yeah. By the way, I'm now... I was watching very closely in a future match that I will just mention the move, and we'll get to that match. But now, I know how to take a famouser. If you know how to give one, get at me, because I know how to make it safe. Ugh.
All right. We ended up giving that one 2.5 to 3 stars. We couldn't quite make up our mind. What would you think for that one?
The
Bo
Dallas.
Yeah.
I give that a 2 because freaking.
We'll say 2.5. He's not sold on the Bo Dallas character yet.
The Bo Dallas character, and he's still a tweener. And by the way, we're recording this on Friday night, which is when SmackDown airs. SmackDown was already taped. We know the results of it, but we're not going to talk about it for this show.
We're going to talk about it Sunday.
So,
which will probably be up Monday morning.
Yeah. It's going to be
an awesome weekend for all of us. 3 podcasts in 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 4 if we do them now.
Mm-hmm. And we're definitely going to be, like I said, we got one house show in today. Tomorrow night we're getting another house show. It's going to be
legend. Wait for it.
Unbelievable.
Dairy. I don't know if they got that, but legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Awesome.
Yeah, the reason why I'm not sold with the old Bo Dallas character is because JBL, every time Bo wins, he's like, this is the greatest streak in sports entertainment. No.
The greatest living streak. He always says
the greatest living streak.
Okay. But in my opinion,
or
the best
in sports entertainment
streak
today.
in sports entertainment has to go to Goldberg.
It's
I agree.
The only 2 that deserve
tied with Undertaker's WrestleMania streak.
I would disagree in that Undertaker's is a lot more impressive because that's when the big show is. And the thing, and I've said this before, the bad thing about having Goldberg go what? Was it 171?
173. 173 and 0.
The only bad thing about that, when he loses that first match, there's his character. His character's done. It's like, what do you do? That's like with The Undertaker losing at WrestleMania. That was his career. That was his gimmick. That was his legacy.
And we saw that Goldberg did end up, he lasted through it, and he still became, he's a phenomenal athlete, and no one was ever going to take that away from him. But there was a large part of his mojo that no longer existed. Why?
The unbeatable was beat.
Yeah.
And then you don't really lose a lot of credibility, but you lose quite a bit.
it was
Really great, right?
Would you quit teasing the cats? And when we say Great White, we're not talking about Seamus.
yeah.
As you can tell, everyone in my family has names surrounding by fish. It's because our last name is a type of fish. But, we've got Catfish who's taking a nap, another one. He was there, and this is the best seats he ever had,
Yeah.
which I agree. For our first show, third row seats is pretty damn good.
That was definitely.
And see, we're a military family. So, all 5 of us have military IDs. We get in, we're expecting, back row. And they say, they look at us and say, what seats do you want?
What seats do you want? And we're like,
And I'm
closest ones you can
as
get.
close to the ring as we can get. I'm not going to pass up an opportunity to get that. And apparently those are like $70 seats.
70,
but
with,
nobody
with
came to
taxes
buy
and
it.
everything.
Nobody came to buy them, so they're gonna try to fill them.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that, WWE. We love the fact that you are so heavy with the veterans, and you can probably hear the bells on the cats.
Yeah.
I say bell. One of them's missing their collar.
But still.
One of them naked.
But yeah, that was just absolutely it made my night. It makes me proud to be a WWE fan.
Yeah.
As much heat as it gets, I don't care.
They support the troops.
They support the they support the WWE. Yeah, the WWE supports the WWE and the WWE Network and the WWE app. They support the United States military. They support the Make-A-Wish Foundation. They are such a charitable, organization. But the third match.
Out of breast fish food?
No, I'm just laughing because the identity crisis continues for Damian Sandow.
Oh my gosh.
It was.
I don't know who he was trying to impersonate, but if he said he was trying to impersonate a Tulsan.
Yes.
I've never seen
somebody
a
from
male
Tulsa.
Tulsan.
Wear shorts that short.
Wear Daisy Dukes.
They were like 2 inches shy of being Daisy Dukes.
Yeah, they did cover past the ass cheeks, so.
He was wearing a cowboy hat, a long jeans sweater thing.
Well, like not flannel.
It's like a flannel shirt.
It was like a pearl snap shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, he starts talking shit, which that's typical Sandow.
Yeah.
And then of course Mexico's second greatest export, Sin Cara, comes out. Then immediately we started the Hunico chants, which is hilarious. I didn't really remember much about that match because we were talking to the guy in front of us. We were just talking, random WWE stuff.
Yeah. By the way, that guy in front of us, the atmosphere of being surrounded by just
people who love the
diehard
business
fans it's incomparable. You can't beat it. Enough said. You'll never get the feeling as a fan of being surrounded by people who just love the industry, love the sport. People who are there with their families, but still when something happens, jump up and yell, "You son of a bitch!"
Exactly. There were plenty of moments like that. Sakara ended up picking the win there.
It was awesome.
We gave it about 2 stars.
Yeah, it was a typical Sandow match. It lasted a little bit longer than the typical Sandow match, but that's just because we didn't have time constraints of, hey, we got to fit a commercial in, or we got to make this end in a certain amount of time, which they still do, but not to the same extent as they would on a televised event.
None of the matches felt rushed.
No, they didn't. None of them.
That brings us to match 4, which still featured Sandow.
Yeah.
He said he wanted anybody. He didn't care who it was.
He said, I'm not leaving this ring until I get my win. And whose music starts?
The great Kali.
It was...
One thing about Kali, most of you guys might know this, some of you might not. Kali's from India, of course. That's not the part you guys might not know. That guy used to be a police officer in Dubai. And, that guy's pretty intimidating without a gun.
Imagine him with one.
And you can definitely tell in person, Kali skips leg day. That being said, it doesn't matter.
The guy's like 7 foot tall.
His arms are as big around as I am.
That guy could palm 2 basketballs and maybe a Humvee. Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
He could bear hug a grizzly.
And win. And win.
Yeah, the man is... It's insane.
That match was like less than 20 seconds.
No.
About 30 seconds.
It was about 30 because Sandow started off with a bunch of leg kicks. First of all, he started off saying, no, how about we no match, and Khali turned, look into the crowd like, what do you mean no match? And then Sandow got a sneak attack in.
Like he always does.
Started leg kicks, got Khali back into the corner, started going around like, yeah, I'm going to get this guy. And as soon as he turned around to Khali, there was a brain chop waiting for him.
So yeah, really quick match. We gave it a star because it wasn't very long, but
one hit KO Khali.
It fit the story of the night, per se.
And it keeps Khali, the former world champion, looking strong, looking like a former world champion should look.
Exactly, because like getting beat by Rusev, Rusev needs the boost, but I mean,
but he didn't need to be beat that quick. He didn't need to be beat that definitively.
And see, I think I like having a lot of matches in a card, but for the TV shows like Raw, SmackDown, you don't need the little small filler matches. Because most people have DVR now, and it's going to end up on the network anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Fill your time constraints, but give everybody some time to show what they can do.
Yeah.
Because the guys who aren't making main roster, they're working their asses off in the house shows.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ones who suffer the most from this are the divas, which brings us right to our next match. It was actually, we watched a championship match.
Yes, a championship match live.
For the Divas title.
And of course, you can tell who it's going to be against. Who else would challenge AJ right now?
Paige. By the way, comparing AJ looks so, as cute as she looks on TV, so much cuter in person.
God.
That being said, everyone always talks about AJ's ass. Comparing the two standing side by side, Paige has a much better ass.
It's because she's 21.
That might be it too. But God, and she's so much more filled out, and she's a little bit taller, but not as tall as me.
Plus, she's single.
And
as far as we know.
Yeah, she's our age.
Mm-hmm.
She's not married. Phil, I'm sorry, took my wife away from me.
Speaking of the married thing, like as soon as the match started, guess what broke out?
Mostly from us.
Punk. Yeah, we kind of started in our section with a guy that was a couple rows to the side. It was pretty cool.
And that lasted for a while. But the CM Punk chants, I can say we were there in them.
Mm-hmm. And it made me feel great because I actually got to do CM Punk chants. I got to see. I'm glad to say I got to see CM Punk cut a promo during the televised show I went to. I'm disappointed because he didn't get to get in the ring that night. But, that guy on the mic is like a genius.
Mm-hmm. The only guy that can even touch him when it comes to shooting a promo is Paul Heyman, the new face of the WWE.
And it's the honest truth. I mean, he can sell a match between anybody. He could sell a match between
Hornswoggle and Heath Slater.
Yeah, well, even that, and make you think Hornswoggle's got a chance. Or he could sell a match between the Power Rangers and the Teletubbies, and you'd watch it.
And if there was an actual match between Teletubbies and Power Rangers, I gotta go with the Power Rangers, because Teletubbies, I don't like them.
The Teletubbies would kick the shit out of the Power Rangers. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Teletubbies are annoying.
The Power Rangers stand for justice. They wouldn't just, they're cuddly. They wouldn't,
The Teletubbies have TV monitors.
It's about like you and
Tadpole
when y'all wrestle.
I'd beat Tadpole in a heartbeat.
But the Teletubbies have TV monitors in their bellies. Can you imagine Power Rangers hitting that and
this isn't nerding out though.
I know.
No, but seriously, the best part of the match though.
Oh, it was
when AJ ripped a chunk out of Paige's hair. Which you could tell it was extensions, but still, it was. Yeah. She went ballistic. She's like, "What? Oh my God, what?"
It's like a minute or 5 minutes afterwards, she has that extension in her hand,
Paige
to
was
hold it.
Paige held on to that hair.
What? Mm-hmm. Like, you just lost your extension. You can get plenty new ones.
We're getting broke into.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
No,
food.
So we got a couple guests in our studio. We're actually shooting a podcast right now, guys.
Yeah.
So no real names. So
Oh, you're right.
just be aware.
Bearded Ninja.
The Bearded Ninja. I like it. The Bearded Ninja. What about the other one?
Wind God.
Wind God.
Wind God.
All right, I like it.
Boom.
This is Guppy, Fish Food, and Doc. Or the Doc. Sorry.
Yep.
The Doc. He has earned.
We
his
gotta be all
Doc.
Yes,
technical here.
the Doc. Also, I gotta say it.
He's got a doctorate.
Got a PhD in all things WWE.
But anyway, like that match, for a Divas match, it went really long, which is awesome.
15-minute Divas match. It was amazing. You don't see those on TV, which brings like what we were talking about. You on TV you have all the time constraints. Go to a house show, you don't have any of that. The Divas match.
I just made a
lasted
reference
15
to a Army Cadence about the Bearded Ninja.
That is like the dumbest one.
I know, it's so
That
retarded.
is the weirdest Army Cadence. But
In case you don't know, look it up. I'm not gonna say it because
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's about Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is probably gonna break down the door right now and probably kill me, but that's okay.
Yes, Guppy's breaks into the food.
Bring me some too.
yeah. That
Bring
would
a
be
box
awesome.
over here,
Yeah,
actually.
that would be awesome if you could.
The Wind God, my stepbrother, works at Little Caesars, and he brought food, and it's awesome.
Speaking of, I don't think we ever got to mention it on a podcast, but a couple weeks ago, Damian Sandow was giving his impressions,
PBR.
and he gave an impression of.
What are you doing, Diddle?
He gave an impression of the Sonic car hop, which is my job. And if I had a little
Didn't
bit
he have the
full-
rollerblades too?
Yeah. If I had a little bit fuller beard, it would look just like me. So Damian Sandow was impersonating me. Yeah. I feel like that was WWE's shout out to us.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
It was like.
By the way, do you guys use the rollerblades anymore? Or is that
we have the option to, but I am far too accident prone.
I'm gonna tell the story about the 4th, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4th of July, I was hanging out with my dad, my brother, and I get a call from the doc. And this is really ironic considering his name is the doc. He calls me, he's like, hey, can you pick me up from the hospital?
Yeah, I don't care.
And I'm like, hey, I'm at my dad's. I'm like 3 hours away.
Mhm.
What is it? Oh, yeah, I'll take some. Sorry, I'm stepping on my face at the same time. We haven't eaten in a while.
It's like 10:30.
Anyways, so he calls me, and he's like, I think I had a heart attack. I'm not making this up either.
No, he's not. I've got the medical records to prove it, and the hospital bills.
Basically, he has this thing, what's it called?
It's called pleurisy. The lining of my lungs swelled up. Here, that one, I'll take the other two. And
I want to say they're 2 pieces of bread.
yeah, the lining of my lungs swelled up and basically choked the blood off from my heart and made it tap out like a little bitch. And so yeah.
My lungs conquered the streak.
Yes, they just about did. Because my heart's been bumping a lot longer than 21 years. But so I'm sitting there, and I looked it up online. This happened on July 4th. I am a U.S. Army veteran. And this happened on Independence Day. Tad Lincoln, the son of Abraham Lincoln, died of pleurisy. Francis Scott Key, who wrote the national anthem, died of pleurisy. Benjamin motherfucking Franklin died of pleurisy.
And that is his middle name, look it up.
Yep. His mama gave it to him. And so my lungs are either that is either the most or least patriotic way to go out on July 4th of the thing that killed so many historic figures for the United States. It was, but yeah, LeBron James had it back when he was in Cleveland for the first time. The
He should just like totally get out of the NBA.
the
got a lot
the
left
drummer
in him,
for the
though.
Beatles, Ringo Starr, he had it for about 9 months there. It was chronic.
Today is your medical lesson by the doc.
Yep.
And that's not why we call him the doc. I mean, that is part of the reason, because he is a medic. But I think it's hilarious that he's probably been in the hospital more times than I can think of. And we call him the doc, which is completely ironic.
Any place that I have lived for more than 6 months, for more than 6 weeks, I've been in the hospital there.
Including basic and AIT.
Including basic and AIT. It was insane.
But anyway, back to our match. Paige and AJ ended up ending via submission, which, obviously AJ's not going to drop the belt at a house show, most likely. Because, leaks are going to happen.
Or if they do, they would switch it back the next night. That way it's back to normal before the next television taping.
Right.
The one famous time that didn't happen was, I think it was 94 or 95 when Diesel picked up the belt from Bob Backlund at a house show and kept it for months.
We ended up giving that Divas match 4 stars because as a Divas match, it was really impressive. The fact that there was a title match,
And
everybody's
15
cheering
minutes.
for both Divas.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty good match.
Paige kept yelling, "This is my house still," and I kept yelling, "Paige, this may not be, but you can make my house yours."
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Match number 6, the show off Dolph Ziggler versus Mexico's greatest export, Berto Del Rio, which those two love working in the ring together.
And you can tell, even though they're not buddies backstage.
And they were both playing the face card, trying to get the crowd in before the match started. Of course, Del Rio kind of went a little heelish tendencies, which, Mark's a good heel, not giving a shit what the crowd thinks.
Before he was just dancing in the ring.
It was a really good match. Ziggler hit the Famouser, didn't he? Or did he ever hit?
He hit the Famouser.
And Del Rio kicked out.
Del
Rio went for a cross arm breaker a couple times.
He got those
enziguris.
Those brutal enziguris. The side kick to the head.
That won him a world championship.
And then Dolph Ziggler hit his own super kick. And as Del Rio was turned around, he hit the zigzag.
1, 2, 3. 3.5 stars for that match too. That was a really good match, and it showed that they definitely love working together.
Yeah, it was a little bit shorter, and compared to the other matches on the card, it didn't hold a candle to some we had seen before, but
it was better than the 2 stand-down matches combined. It was overall a really good match.
Yeah, totally.
Then we have
the intermission.
And in fact, we're going to actually take an intermission of our own to give you the plugs. So we'll see you guys in just a second. This is Fish Food.
And this is Doc.
And it's time for the plugs. First things first, we have a website, bottomofthemat.com, spelled with 2 T's. We've also got an email account, bottomofthemat, spelled with 2 T's at yahoo.com.
We've got another email account, bottomofthemat, spelled with 1 T at Gmail, because I can spell. And we've got a Google Voice account, which is 580-609-0399. You can text us, send us phone calls, anything you want to. If you're into that, I don't know why you would be.
We also got a Twitch channel if you want to see me live stream games. I do a lot of speed runs. Go to twitch.tv/bottomofthemat. Also, we've got a YouTube channel. Look us up at Bottom of the Mat. I think that's all we've got.
Yeah. All right. Back to the show.
See you guys in a minute. Alright, so we're back. The bearded ninja's looking for a phone charger. Mine wouldn't work for him, so. Alright, so after the intermission, and during the intermission, we actually went and got ourselves some merchandise, including my brother got a signed poster, and I did as well. Roman Reigns picture with his signature. It's pretty cool. Did you get a poster?
No.
No. That's okay. Well, I'll try to. Actually, I'm not gonna put a picture of it because I don't want people trying to like print a copy of it or something and try to sell it. That's that's not in the spirit of the WWE. That's kind of messed up. But
yeah, I got a Bray Wyatt hat.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And a Brock Lesnar T-shirt.
Yeah, so we're ready for SummerSlam. He's got a Brock Lesnar T-shirt. I got one that says Hounds of Justice because they weren't selling just straight up Roman Reigns T-shirts. I'm gonna have to wait a little bit.
I was mad.
I was a little mad too myself, but we got ones that Hounds of Justice, and it was awesome. So we come back from intermission, and the Adam Rose Justin Gabriel contest was getting ready to kick off, and they revealed the results. 1%. 1%. I'm sorry. When you go to a WWE event, why would you want to see a fucking dance-off?
I know, that's fucking retarded.
It's World Wrestling Entertainment. I get the E is entertainment. Entertainment for me is not a fucking dance. I want to see people beat the shit out of each other. Throw people through the barricades. Throw people over the turnbuckle. Make them tap out. Make them do whatever.
Make them cry like a bitch.
But it was a dance-off.
Yeah.
The dance-off was pretty entertaining and pretty funny, though. Because Justin Gabriel goes first. And they start playing I'm Too Sexy.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts doing, like, the pelvic thrusts and all that. And then he goes to do a backflip. And, he's really athletic, so I know he didn't do it unintentionally.
He's one of the most capable high flyers in the
Absolutely.
WWE today.
Doesn't he still do like a 450 splash?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, when he's in matches on TV.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him on a televised match other
when
than
he's
like
in
main
matches
event.
and scheduled to win.
Right. But like, he was doing all that. He did a backflip and failed, and everybody started whatever. Adam Rose gets in, and his music kicks off with "I'm Sexy and I Know It." He gets 3 seconds in, and then Gabriel starts beating his ass. And, it ended up with a small brawl, and Rose ended up, winning, and then you hear the all that crap. Which, I like the music. The character's still kind of,
The character's just too one-dimensional.
And, even McMahon isn't sold on him. Which, if McMahon's not sold on him, why is creative still giving him a shot?
Yeah.
Send his ass back to NXT. Let him get a new gimmick. Or at least expand the gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
He got a really good reaction in NXT, but NXT, you're competing in front of the same crowd night in, night out.
And they're getting to see him in actual matches.
Yeah. You're not getting to see what his ring work can do.
Yeah.
But he won the little brawl with his party foul. And I don't think we ended up rating that segment, but
No.
I think we'd rate it really low because we wanted a match.
That would be the same as the Khali match.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe even less. But as a segment, it was probably about a 2.5. Because the dance-up was kind of comical, especially the choice of music. Hilarious.
They started playing some weird jazz stuff for Justin Gabriel. Justin Gabriel was like, no, play my music.
And see, that they can get away with stuff like that on the house shows because it's not televised. They don't have to worry about copyright stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They can do all they want on the house shows.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Another reason to go to a house show opposed to a live event. Which, if you can go to a televised event, do it because it's still a great experience.
But at the same time, it's less intimate than a house show.
The next match was one of the best of the night. It starts out, Rusev comes out, starting his whole deal, and Lana is just as sexy in person as she is on TV.
Oh my gosh.
I've got the perfect side profile.
Yeah, we're definitely check out the photos. They'll be in the photo section.
There was a guy, he had a sign that said, Lana wants my missile.
That was like the sign of the night. Absolutely the sign of the night. What?
Other than the sign that Del Rio tore up.
Right. And that guy was legitimately pissed. Whether he was a plant or not,
I think he was a plant there.
He had so many signs. I mean, you had it's not.
Nobody cares
surprising.
that. Plus, he was wearing blue shirt, red hat, and no sort of symbol on the red hat at all.
So who wears generic ball caps? Plants.
Oh, this
Someone who were like, hey, we don't have a deal with these people. Let's not put any public company out there.
It is Oklahoma though, so I mean.
But it wasn't that shade of red.
True.
It was.
And if he wasn't the plant, great initiative by Del Rio to do that, just get the crowd some heat. But Rusev comes out, does his whole thing, and then I was expecting because of all the stuff that they the controversy surrounding the feud between Swagger, I was expecting I don't know, a Kofi or a Biggie or Cesaro or something. Cesaro would have been a really good match. Nope. What do we get? We get Oklahoma's champion, the real American Jack Swagger, rocking an OU Sooners jersey.
It was amazing. The pop for him
was crazy.
The loudest of the night.
Oh, absolutely. Even louder than Roman Reigns, because we already announced that was our main event. Louder than that. And it was, him wearing all that, and then, Coulter gets up, does his promo, tells Lana she needs to shut up, and everybody stands up and does the We the People louder than I've ever heard in my life.
It was...
Oh, yeah.
That entire place. We watched an awesome street fight at the end of the night, but Jack Swagger was the one who got the loudest response.
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
Swagger was the one who got the biggest pops. Jack Swagger was the one who tore the house down.
And even during the match, instead of We the People every time, Boomer, Sooner. There's so many chants. There was the USA chants.
The USA
We
chant,
the People.
by the way. Chant of the night definitely ended up being USA.
Absolutely, because it was so loud and it was unanimous at times. It was a little bit off, it was a lot of a US, just it was kind of off, not insane.
It's about like the row you boat.
Kind of. It was kind of in canon. Not canyon cutter, no, canon. I saw you trying to do it. I saw it. Corner of my eye.
I was like,
no, not quite. But we were thinking, it's Oklahoma. Rusev's got to come out with a loss because it's in Oklahoma. Swagger.
it's a house show. You don't have to mention it any other time.
No, sadly. Although we should say, he did damn near break out of the accolade. He got closer than Big E did.
He got almost stood up.
Almost. It was pretty damn close. And then he locks it back in and ends up picking the win with the accolade. But people were still chanting USA, still chanting Boomer Sooner, showing the support for Jack Swagger, the hometown hero. It was an awesome match.
Man from Perry, Oklahoma.
We rated that one 4.5. It was just as good as the opening match between Ambrose and Rollins.
The fan interaction was what.
Yeah, the fan interaction absolutely made it what it is. That's the second.
Not just the fan interaction going from the fans to the fan reaction to the match or the competitors themselves, but the interaction coming from the competitors to the fans was brilliant.
Swagger and Coulter kept getting the crowd in. Rusev kept trying to keep the crowd out. It was great
Lana
chemistry
did too.
between. Oh yeah, Lana especially. Lana spelled backwards.
Another.
What? Can you not spell? Spell Lana.
Are you fucking dyslexic?
Spell-
L-A-N-A,
Okay,
backwards
spell
A-N-A-L.
Which spells?
Anal.
There you go.
Anyway.
Congratulations. Round of applause.
Technically, anal is A-N-E-L.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Wow.
Dang.
And I thought I couldn't spell.
wow.
You can't, because you can't spell bad.
That's a different story. That was a long time ago.
Man.
And Rubicon just proved
You
that I'm strong.
obviously kept getting away from the fish school.
I didn't get away from the fish school.
Obviously.
Mm.
All
Cutting
right.
class.
But it
Nah,
was such an outstanding match, and we loved every single minute of it.
Going to the reef, if you know what I mean.
Right. Next match of the night,
Yeah.
Rybaxel versus Goldust and Stardust. Really good match.
The number one as far as fan interaction.
Actually,
It's
no,
got to
say
be-
superstar interaction with individual fans.
With not just individual fans, there was a group of them over there.
Well, like
They
he was calling out specific groups, like
Yeah.
like not just yelling at the crowd, yelling at a certain someone in the crowd. Like there was a part, "You suck, Ryback." Ryback responds
turns
with,
around, says,
"Your mama told me. Thanks." it was It was awesome because
It was
it's like that's Ryback.
Ryback was, and he stayed in character.
Oh yeah.
But he was so charismatic. I've been a huge fan of Ryback's because he was the victim of terrible booking and terrible timing by WWE Creative.
They should have slowed him down.
And it slowed him down, and it made him just not believable as anything. Made him a perennial mid-carder. Freaking Curtis Axel was on the outside, though, beating on, it was Stardust. Beating on Stardust. And turned to one of the guys in that section who kept yelling, "You suck!" He said, "You're next."
You're next, buddy. They make really good heels.
Great heels, but very, very charismatic. Like you want to boo them, but at the same time you are drawn to their characters. You are invested in their characters. It's they need big push. WWE, I know you've been listening to some of our stuff because you announced a tournament just like 72 hours after I called the tournament.
Actually, it wasn't even that long. Oh yeah, because it was Saturday night.
Yeah, you announced a tournament 48 to 72 hours later. I know you're listening to some of our stuff. If you're listening to me now, give Ryback their push. They have earned it.
And you got to do something different with the tag division. Yes, the Usos and the Wyatts are a draw. It's a great match between them, but if you keep overusing it, it's going to get stale. Got to mix it up.
And to be fair, and I know this is getting off of tonight, the best way to mix it up right now, I would say, give the title to Harper and Reigns at SummerSlam.
Harper and Rowan.
Yeah, Harper and Rowan. You know what I mean. Read my mind, goddammit.
Harper and Reigns would be a decent tag team.
They would be.
I don't see it working character-wise for a while, but...
Team Hell No worked.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, good point.
Yes! No! Yes! No! Hug it out! Hug it out!
But, anyway, Harper and Rowan, give them the titles at SummerSlam. Have the Usos make a challenge for a rematch the next night. Move directly into, or have the Usos lose the rematch. Move directly into a Wyatt family tag team feud with the Rhodes Brothers. Let's see what the creepy, bizarre giants from the swamp can do with the bizarre ones.
That would be instant moneymaker right there.
Oh
yeah.
But
I mean, that feud has so much color to it and so much just beauty, creative-wise, from places you can go with it.
Oh yeah, I mean the promos alone, all the Stardust promos that we see just show a goofy side of Cody Rhodes. And like he was even like he's got so much energy with this new gimmick, and I love it because like as soon as they came out of the little backstage area, he ran to like the side of the stage and was like shaking hands and stuff. It was like awesome.
Yeah, and it's surprising that they have that much energy, considering they are wrestling in latex bodysuits.
It's got to be hot.
And
the face paint. I mean,
yeah,
that keeps sweat.
Even your faces. By the way, you can tell who was doing the majority of the fighting for the Rhodes Brothers because
Goldust all of his paint.
Goldust left with all of his paint intact. It was gorgeous.
But Goldust ended up picking up the victory via the final cut, which is something we don't see a whole lot. Guppy over here didn't exactly know what
was that move?
See, now I keep waiting for Shattered Dreams, which you can do at a house show. But
I think overall we ended up rating the match about 3.5. It was a good match, good solid match.
It was a good match, great tag team match. But again, WWE, if you're listening, Ryback, those are you guys.
Because let's look at our championship pictures right now. Cena, face. The Miz, heel. So even 1-1. AJ Lee Divas champion. Face. Because Paige is now heel. The Usos tag team champions. Face. Sheamus. Face. You have one face champion. Gotta balance it out a little bit more than that.
Heel. One heel champion.
Shane,
Yeah,
that's what I
one.
said that.
You said
No,
one
you
face.
said
Did I say one face? I meant
Yes.
one heel. I'm sorry. Had
But
a minute to drink,
but
sorry.
we all know what he meant, and it was. It's just you can't be doing that. You can't have so many people that the guys want, that everyone wants to cheer for. It's even and out, and we can get some great matches.
Oh, absolutely. So then we get to our main event.
Your main event of the evening.
Ric Flair is the guest referee, and let me tell you, he looks so happy to be back with the company.
Oh my gosh, she's so old compared to like seeing him whenever he like first, or whenever I first started watching to now. Holy heck, he's changed a lot.
He has.
He's still got the star power, though.
He
yeah.
still has the
Wheeling,
the-
dealing, kiss stealing.
His music hit, and there were so many people in the crowd bowing. We're not worthy.
Absolutely, that's the 16-time world champion, WWE Hall of Famer, twice.
Mm-hmm. The man behind the Four Horsemen, Evolution, the original incarnation.
And then we get the competitors, Roman Reigns and Randy Orton.
Randy
Yeah.
entered first. It was great.
Oh yeah, we got some really good shots of his little pose that he does on the turnbuckles.
Mm-hmm.
I got a decent shot of Reigns when he was at the top of the stadium.
Someone commented on that.
Yeah. The entrances are awesome.
Oh yeah, and the match, it delivered. Like, we'd been waiting for it, and it delivered. It was awesome.
And both, what I loved was both of the competitors gave the little nod to Rick.
Oh yeah, at first.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up, Randy was pissed off at Rick because
He thought there should have been a 3 count.
No, it wasn't even that. Reigns went over the ropes, and Rick kept him from pursuing, and he got pissed and he started beating the shit out of him. But we'll get to that because that was towards the finish of the match.
Yeah.
You know, it was a street fight. Anything goes. There were tables. There were chairs. There were kendo sticks. There was people getting slammed into the barricades.
Mm-hmm.
Into the
Best
steel
part-
steps.
Reigns was like our side of the ring, and we want tables can't start echoing. And he looks around. He's like, tables, huh? Yeah.
And so he goes underneath the ring. It's a street fight.
Goes
It's
looking
all
for a
legal.
table. Doesn't quite get it.
And
Titans breaks
then
out.
Randy Orton starts trying to pull a table out, and then
They get it in the ring, and then one of the legs is busted. So he
Yeah.
throws it out of the ring, and you can hear plywood breaking.
you saw it fly up, bounce away.
And he's going on. He's trying to find another table, and I think you can hear,
He yelled out, "We need more fucking tables!"
we need more fucking tables. Get the tables set up.
That's another thing, by the way. You can't get by with that on a televised show.
Oh,
They
absolutely
cut
not.
loose on house shows.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. And Reigns goes for like some sort of move to try to put Orton through the table. Orton counters, puts Reigns through the table,
Mm-hmm.
and he's able to kick out after it. He hits the little running clothesline thing. Everybody gets all pumped up.
Yeah.
How'd you like whenever Reigns or Orton tried to hit Reigns with a microphone, and then Reigns stopped him, hit him, and he tried to speak? He's like,
He
"It's
tried
broke."
to speak in the microphone and it caused it out of sync. He tried to say something. He's like, it's fuck.
Yeah.
Just threw it down. And then you hear boom. Like, well, it was working. So that he didn't end up getting to say anything,
It
which
was
was
funny.
probably scripted, but
But still, it would have been awesome.
it really would have been.
It was
And
funny.
Let's talk about the finish of the match. Orton starts, beating the hell out of Flair.
Mm-hmm.
And then Flair gets up, starts slapping him, and then you see Reigns do his little
Superman punch.
his little thing. He's getting ready for the Superman punch. He loads it, slams it to the ground, does his little roar, comes up, Superman punches him. Orton goes for like an RKO or some shit, and he hits him with a spear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all she wrote.
Yep. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. Reigns
And actually,
celebrates with
that
the
count,
crowd.
everybody was like, counting early because Rick was kind of sliding down. They started counting before he even got down to the mat because he's old. He moves a little slower.
But it's one of those things where, like they do when when a referee is down, they'll count to like 12.
85.
Waiting for the referee to get there. That way the guy can make the 2 count. But there's been, by the way, anyone who wants to talk about impact on the WWE, when you slam to the mat, it's all padding. People bounced.
The table bounced at one point.
The table bounced.
Reigns hit Orton with a Samoan drop, and the table was like 6 inches off the mat. It was awesome.
That mat
just
is
sat perfectly
tiny. It's a tiny thin mat between the canvas and the boards underneath, and then you've got just thin little mats surrounding the ring. They're not joking when they say when you land, it's gonna hurt. There's a difference between wrestling hurt and wrestling injured.
One thing we forgot to mention about that match, right before all the fiasco with Ambrose, between Reigns and Orton and Flair, guess who decided to show up in the middle of the match? Seth Rollins. Guess who followed him? Dean Ambrose.
And we had all 3 former members of the Shield in the ring at the same time.
We had a legend killer, and the former Hounds. All in the ring. So much epicness at once.
And Dean Ambrose chased off Seth Rollins, and Randy Orton had his back turned.
Oh yeah, that's how it did. There was an attempted RKO right there.
Yeah, Randy Orton had his back turned, and as soon as he turned around, boom, spear.
Damn.
It was
epic.
So much.
Such a great show.
Like, the crowd was small, but you couldn't tell. From the feel of it, you'd have thought this was WrestleMania.
Earlier in the match, we watched him do this like run and jump kick.
Oh, his little turnbuckle.
The
apron drop kick.
It was.
It's awesome to see that in person.
There's no describing it.
When he debuted that move, I was sold. I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
The feeling that you get watching Roman Reigns, you can tell that man is in for big things.
He's the next megastar of the WWE. Hands
there
down.
was.
And up there right with him are his former partners. Probably Bill.
Yeah, most likely.
Definitely Bray Wyatt, although he wasn't here. Ziggler, if you're listening, WWE, give him a push in more than just the IC belt, but at least give him a major storyline to keep him moving forward. Ziggler needs to remain relevant. He is one of the most technically gifted athletes in the WWE today, bar none.
Alright, so for closing out the show, we're going to give out a little bit of house show awards for the night.
Ooh.
So, we already said
Chant of the night.
Number 1 chant of the night.
USA.
A couple honorable mentions. Boomer Sooner chants.
And Hot Russian Girl.
Oh.
Some guy to the right of us started this, and it
kept going for most of the match.
And all, by the way, all three of those ended up the same match. Generated all 3 at the top.
Okay, spot of the night.
Ooh, spot of the night. There were a few suicide dives in that first match.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got to give it to Roman Reigns getting slammed through the table.
That, again, talking about the impact, you heard that plywood crack. And yes, they prepped the tables a little bit, just to prevent, one from not breaking, because that'll actually really injure you.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the sound of that wood cracking, the witnessing the bent metal from underneath the wood, there's
just
nothing
awesome.
like it.
How about you? Spot of the night. Best moment of in-ring action.
Best moment was watching Roman Reigns like grab the table, and then we us yelling we want tables, and just looks and just shakes his head like, let's do it. Like, it was all crazy.
He was like, tables, we can do this.
For me, it was in the first match. There was a part where Rollins went for like some sort of like clothesline over Ambrose to clothesline him over the table. They're over the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
And Ambrose ended up missing it or countering it and sent Rollins flying face first into the side of the side mat, like the floor. It was like, ouch.
Not face first. He landed on his feet, and we
couldn't tell because it was on the other side.
I could see his head, and he landed on his feet, but Rollins' history of selling knee injuries, that he's perfect at it. So Rollins turns around right into a suicide dive at that point. There's so many great moments. It's hard to.
It is hard to pick. It was a great show. How about
match of the night?
We'll get to that one. I was gonna say crowd interaction. Oh, not crowd interaction. Superstar interaction with crowd.
Superstar interaction with crowd. Ryback. Hands down.
Hands down. I gotta agree with that.
I mean the nearest second would have been Jack Swagger.
And the Boomer Sinners.
Yelling Boomer. But what I would have loved to see from Jack Swagger, he's in Oklahoma. Everyone knows he's from Oklahoma. He's wrestling as the real American. American colors aren't black. I would love to see him come out in crimson and cream.
That would be well. He kind of did today.
No, but like his ring gear.
That would be kind of cool. Maybe we'll have it in our night because they're going to be in Oklahoma City, which is pretty close to Norman. And for those of you who don't know, Swagger was actually part of the OU wrestling team, and he was a linebacker for the Oklahoma University football team.
And you can tell by the way he hits. Those superstars are so big.
Oh God, Conley especially.
They are. When they say these guys are larger than life, it's easy to write it off as they look big on television, but those guys are big.
Mm-hmm.
It's
all right.
Some people who aren't big though. AJ Lee. I could fit her in the palm of my hand. It feels like.
All right, we're gonna split match of the night in two categories: match of the night from a crowd reaction standpoint, and match of the night from an in-ring action standpoint. We'll go crowd reaction standpoint first.
All right, crowd reaction standpoint. Got to be Swagger versus Rusev. You got homegrown talent. Performing in his home state, not too far from where he grew up. Of course, he's going to be the biggest pop of the night. Everyone loved him. It was great. And every time he kept fighting back up, I kept thinking, man, you know what he really needs? He needs a slap in the face from Zeb.
And there was a point when he got like really pissed. He like didn't even need it. He was slapping himself in the face a little bit. He got so pumped up. He's like, all right, let's do this. It's time.
But he damn near won it. But from an in-ring action, I'm going to split it up into two more categories.
Okay.
Overall, just entertainment value and best technical.
Okay.
Technical goes to the two ring generals, the two masters of the sport, the two of the best athletes in the business today, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Match number one. And then the last match of the night definitely wins overall entertainment. We get to see a little bit of that hot feud between Rollins and Ambrose, but we also got to see a great match.
And a potential preview of SummerSlam.
Yeah. And street fight, so no holds barred, no countouts, no disqualifications.
You had to be there to really experience this.
Oh, yeah.
The tables, the interaction with the fans that Roman Reigns had, and even the interaction that Randy Orton had.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd look around and he'd give "fuck you" just he had some of the best crowd interaction as a heel, other than Ryback, but it was definitely one of the matches. It wouldn't have been out of place as like a secondary main event on a pay-per-view.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that'll be a really good like second tier main event at SummerSlam. Should it happen, which it should.
Mm-hmm. And I say keep it the exact same way it is right now. It's.
And I hope they put a gimmick match, like a stipulation on the match between the two of them at SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, and I
not
hope
a street fight because I've seen it. Everybody else hasn't, which is kind of nice, but.
I would like to see the street fight. I don't think anything needs to change. Keep Ric Flair as the special guest referee. Maybe change the outcome, make it last a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, since we're on the network, we don't have to worry about TV ratings as far as PG. I mean, they still sort of do, but not really. They air it with enough of a delay that they can edit everything. Let them say we need more fucking tables. That'll get the live crowd going.
Definitely. But yeah, overall, great show. I mean, I can't say the best one I've ever been to because I've only been to 2, so it's like judging between Superman and Hulk Hogan or something like that.
If you had to choose, house show, televised show.
House show, hands down, because the intensity was crazy.
Non-stop action.
We were one match in, and I was already starting to go hoarse.
Yeah.
Oh.
We weren't even the full match in, and
If I can speak
couldn't
tomorrow
feel
night,
my throat.
If I can speak tomorrow night and Sunday night, I will be extremely surprised because it was awesome. Way too much intensity, which is a good thing.
Man, those seats, that atmosphere.
SummerSlam is 3 weeks from
August 17th.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, well that's about all we have time for tonight. We will see you tomorrow. Well, you will hear us tomorrow after we watch the house show in Oklahoma City, which will be a lot of a delay because the show will probably be over about 10. We'll be, getting home about 1:32 in the morning. We may record that one early in the morning. We might do it when we get back.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we do it on the road, but that's not going to work. Our audio would pick up a lot of wind. It doesn't work too well. But,
yeah, it would. We may do it early in the morning. We may put that on we may join that with the other.
Yeah, that would actually be a pretty good one.
That way we can just give the differences between the two shows.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're definitely going.
Absolutely.
Anything major happens, you will hear it from us. But I don't have anything else.
That's all for me. I'm Fish Food.
You got the Doc.
You got Guppy.
Yeah. And this has been a Bottom Map production. Hopefully you enjoy the new title, Super Slam. We thought about this. We decided we like it. The Triple B, the big black bastard, last pay-per-view's champ. He likes it, so we're gonna stick with it. But before we go, you and Mitch.
No, you and Mitch.
No, you and Mitch.
No,
man.
you and Mitch.
No, you and Mitch.
We all Mitches.
No, you and Mitch. I ain't
No. We
Mitch.
don't.
No,
You
don't
and
even.
Mitch now.
Yeah, you and Mitch.
You don't
definitely
say we
and
all
Mitch.
Mitches.
You are definitely.
This podcast has been brought to you by Bottom of the Map Productions.